Hi, morning everybody, Joanna here again. So today I'm gonna do a really quick cute dress. It's gonna be turtleneck and sleeveless, and it's really easy. So let's get going. I have 3 yards of fabric. So what I did, I turned the fabric on the 60-inch length. It's 60 inches wide, it's knit. I turned it on the 60 inches wide and I cut off to the length that I wanted it to cut to. So I cut it like 43. So at the end of it all, it would remain about like 17 or so extra. That's an extra very long panel of 3 yards. So that is where I cut out 2 extra panels here to give me my shirt. And I'm going to gather this part to get the skirt, and I'm going to do like a little band on it. So it's going to look a little different. So let's get going. So what you do, you measure from your shoulder to like a high waist. Okay, so I cut mine at 17, but you could cut yours like even wherever you want it to fit, at a high waist but below your bust. That's fine. Okay, then to get your turtleneck, you measure the circumference of your head. Do it really snug. So I got, oh sorry, I got 22. Okay, and my fabric is like, okay, I have 20 here, so this should be fine, because if you're using stretch fabric, you have to use it like 2 inches less because it's gonna stretch. Okay, so let me cut this panel first for the turtleneck, so I could get rid of this. Now you could cut the turtleneck any size you want. If you want your turtleneck to bunch, you could cut it wider. If you want it to fold, like what is going to happen with me, mine is going to actually fold. You could do it like that. If you just want a plain ring around your neck, you could actually just measure from under your neck to where your neckline is going to be, the opening for your neck hole, and you measure that, and then you double it in width. So when you fold it over, you'll get this exact thing. Right, so this is my panel for my turtleneck. I'm gonna put this one side. This are my 2 panels, which I doubled the 17 inches. So it's 2 panels. It's not gonna be a back and a front until I add the turtleneck. And you lay your shirt. This is a really nice sweater shirt that I have. Okay, if you know you're bigger, I'm like a 1X, almost a 2X. If you're a little bigger than a 1X or 2X, you buy like 4 yards of fabric, and that will accommodate. Okay, so what you're gonna do, you're not gonna cut your neck hole low, you're gonna cut your neck hole high, because the turtleneck, so when you're cutting out, right, when you're cutting this, back and the front is going to be the same. That's just until okay, so if you notice, the back and the front is exactly the same, because when we add in the turtleneck, everything is just gonna go in really nicely. So this is my turtleneck here that is gonna go in right into there. Don't worry, it's all gonna come in really nicely. This is gonna go here, and you fold this over. And for my band, I still have this here. I'm gonna do 2 pieces so I can decide how wide I want my band. So my band, a 4-inch band. So I'm gonna cut just cut along here and cut it twice, because you're gonna use this as your faux band. It's gonna be really, really nice too. You're cutting 2 panels of these, fold it over, and I'll be back to show you how to put it all together. Okay, so I did my top, a little crop top. It's gonna look like a crop top. It's really, really easy to sew. It's gonna take less than 5 minutes to put together, and I'm gonna show you how to do your turtleneck. So this is your fabric when you cut it. So what you do, you open it and you put it in the opposite direction, and then you're going to make 1 stitch along here. Okay, and what you do, you just fold it in on itself so that the wrong sides will be together, and this is your turtleneck. So if, as I said, if you want it to fold when you are finished attaching, you could fold it down if that's what you want. That's what I want. So to get this turtleneck band, you see how easy it is? On my shirt, I know this is the back of my shirt. You can choose any side you want for the back or the front. Do a little triangular snip, and you push the top part of your turtleneck inside of the shirt, and where you make the snip is where you're gonna put your seam. Okay, so that is gonna become the back, and you're gonna stitch this all the way around. Trying to save time, but for some videos I really need to show you. Okay, you're gonna, this is surprisingly still gonna work to more or less the circumference of your natural neck. It's gonna work out really, really nice. Just keep going right around. It's really, really easy. Okay, you take your time, you don't need to rush. And you get this done the right way. And then you turn your crop top inside out. Here you go, your turtleneck, and you fold it over. Oh my god, when I'm finished, you're gonna really, really like this. So this is just the top part. So to do your band, because to do your band, you saw I have 2 pieces. So you take your band and you fold them right sides together, and you make a stitch here, you make a stitch here, and then you fold it over. You'll get a band. It will look something like a bigger version of your turtleneck. And I'm going to start show you how to gather. So what you do, some machines may have a gathering stitch already, but mine don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my machine to the biggest stitch 1, then I'm going to turn it to the slackest stitch, which is 0. I'm going to take my time and stitch right along the edge. And if you see how slack it is, and when I'm finished, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull until this reaches the circumference of my waist. Okay, and it's going to add right back up to your crop top. So give me some time, let me finish this, and then I'll be back to show you. What you can do is put both seams together this seat open in here and the end of the other side, but I'll show you when I come back what I do. Okay, so I made a stitch right along the length, the width of my fabric, because I already have the length that I want. And you will see two sides. This is the upper side, and you'll see this slack part. It's very loose. You take your thread and you look for the loose end. Just make sure, right, so make sure you have the loose end. And what you're going to do, you're going to pull one side of the thread. And if you notice, when I pull, it gathers. So you pull this and you gather this until you reach the size of your waist. The reason why I did not stitch this seam is because I want a slit, and I know what I'm going to do with it, so I'll show you after. But I want you to, at this stage, just to gather until you reach the size of your waist. Okay, so I'm going to do this until you reach the size of my waist, and I'll be back. So I gathered my skirt and I made my band. Remember how we made the band? I connected both pieces together, stitched both sides, and I got it to the size of my waist. If you want, when you gather your skirt, you could just make one seam straight down and bunch it to the size of your band. Okay, make sure it's the size of your band. I wanted a little slit, just a little touch of sexiness. So what I did, I made it a few inches longer than my band. Make sure everything is right. And I'm gonna fold one over the next. One little piece over the next, because I want a nice open slit. It's gonna look really sexy. And I'm gonna put this on my machine because I did a roll hem on both ends, so it's not gonna be open. This roll hem is here. I hope you could see it. I'm gonna close this up. Both ends lapping over each other. Okay. Now when you pull your gathering thread, do not cut your thread until you get where you want your waist to be. Because if you cut it too early, you're going to pull and your entire gathering process is going to be wasted. It's going to come out. So this is my slit. It's going to be looking really, really good. Cut this off. So what you do, you gather again, and you make sure in your gathering everything looks even before you put your band on. Now in this process here, you could put on both your band and your topping one. So you'll see I would have a slit here, the opening for the slit. If it's too high for you, you could find the straight edge of this and actually put another stitch, pin first and run another stitch. If you don't want, you know, all your leg to be outside, which I'm going to do, you pin and you run another stitch to the height of where you want your slit to go. My slit may not stay open like this, huh? It's just I want you to, you know, if you want, you could do it high like this, or if you want, you could, you know, stitch it down a little bit. That's if you want to be a little more conservative. Okay, so gather your skirt right for the size of your band. Right, so this is perfect. Okay, so what you do, you roll your band on the opposite side of your skirt, just as I'm doing here. Okay, and if you want, you can pin. By the way, if you want, you could just make that into a crop top, make this into a skirt, and it's gonna be a really, really nice outfit if you want. But I'm not gonna wear a crop top with this skirt, but if you want, you could stop at crop top and do the skirting like this, a high waist gathered skirt with slit. It's gonna look really cute also. I wish you send me pictures of you just doing the crop top, turtleneck crop top and skirt, but I'm gonna do it in a dress, okay? So this part, at this point, you can run a stitch here if you want to be more careful, and you can take your time and then add on the shirt after, okay? So because of time, I want to save time, I'm gonna do this part first, and then I'm gonna show you how I add in my top. Okay, I'm back. So I did my band on my skirt. It's really nice, and I'm gonna attach top to the skirt. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna push your waist, leave it as is, push the waist through the neck and bring it to the waistline. Okay, so the right sides would meet up together at the waistline. You're gonna leave your band, hold it downwards, because you just want to get, you know, this attached first, and then we'll do the other step. So I'm just gonna put this on the machine, run a stitch on it right around, and I'm gonna be back to do the last step. Do a roll hem around the armholes to fix the armhole really nicely, and we're finished. Okay, so this is how my dress came out. Look at the turtleneck. I'm just gonna fold it up for you, and then you can fold it down. I love this dress. Really came out really nice. This is my band here, right, and my side slit. There it is. Really cute. Now, as it is, when you walk, you don't really see anything opening much, but if you want, you could put on a stocking or a pair of leggings. That will be fine also. Leggings will really look good with this too. For the conservative girl, it will really look nice. And this is Joanna saying, stay happy, stay healthy, and sew up.